Hey everybody, Tim here from Doc's Autos, and today we are having a field trip, a socially distanced field trip, as you can see here. We are headed down, I am headed down to Iowa to hopefully pick up a new toy. So, got lots of windshield time ahead of us, so we'll go ahead and run down to Iowa and see what we find. If we like what we see, we'll of course have some more footage after this point and show you all around what we're getting. So, here we go. Hey everybody, today is the next day and here is what we brought home with us. Check this out. So I've been looking for skid steer, tractor, something for the property here for hay, snow removal, general chores out on the property, and found this 2013 S850 down in Iowa. So we took a little field trip. What better place to practice social distancing than in Iowa? It's got does have a number of hours on it, but it's had all the routine maintenance done right at the dealership in town by the farm. New drive motors, got a new starter, new alternator, new battery in the last year. You can see oil is freshly changed. Not that fresh because it has more hours on it. Nothing suspicious there. Got a new Bobcat plate about 2 years ago. And the interior also, it's dirty, but it needs just a cleaning. The seat's in good shape. All the controls are pretty good. Does need a good cleaning. It was at a dairy farm, so it does smell a little of cattle. So we'll go ahead and give it the good old Tim treatment and get her all cleaned up. It does just have the standard accoutrements inside. Doesn't have the deluxe instrumentation or the radio or anything, but you know what? You're never going to hear a radio in here anyways. So the important thing is it is big. It's got nearly a 4,000 pound lifting capacity, 12-foot reach with the arm, so it goes way up high. Tires still have about 50% life on them. It is pre-def, so we don't have to worry about any of that. I just need to get a fuel tank on the property here for the diesel, so we're not running to town in 5-gallon yellow cans. But everything here has been well greased by the previous owner. You can see they had very strict maintenance policies. Every time you refueled it, you checked and oiled. All the hoses also have been managed as needed. Everything in here is good and clean. You know, for a number of hours, it's in good shape. It wasn't abused. It wasn't used in manure. You know, we've looked at a number of different skid steers. Does need a sticker here, no big deal. And a wiper blade. That's about it. Alternator belt has a little fraying on it, 20 bucks and you're done. But you know, of all the other machines we looked at by us, this thing had the least amount of damage and actual wear on it. Everything else just looked like it had been put through the ringer. So had the drive, put about 9 hours in the pickup yesterday to go pick it up. But good windshield time, got some car karaoke done, and you know, the roads were pretty much empty. And this is kind of one of those necessary evils. We had to travel out, but took the road trip myself and brought this back here. So I have to come up with a new nickname for it. Maybe Kitty, who knows? Biggest kitty in the neighborhood, I guess. So 2-speed does have that. So that is nice for around here. You can get up and going. The joystick controls were kind of a must for us. We've had the opportunity to borrow some track units in the past, and while they do have some advantage out here, our driveway, as you've seen in previous videos, is rather steep, and in the winter it does become covered with ice and snow. And the general consensus from both my wife and I and other folks we've talked to is that tracks on an incline with ice are a bad idea. We can put chains on here if needed. So, you know, I think we've got this covered. We just need to find ourselves some attachments. So, bucket we need to get a set of pallet forks, and then the bale spear for the horses. So otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. Inside, outside, a little bit of touch-up paint here and there. Really the only big place missing paint is under the arms here, next to the cab. So we're just going to give this thing a good old once-over, cleaned up, make sure everything is as it should be. And let her go. So check out for more details in the coming video. We've got a couple things to replace. You know, lens here, $6 for that. Otherwise, everything else seems to be in working order. So a couple of new hydraulic hoses as needed. But really, I mean, this is a good, clean machine. It's got high hours on it, but the gentleman we bought it from, his brother has pretty much run this thing exclusively short of about 50 hours, and he was actually sad to see the machine go. They've upgraded to bigger payloaders for their operation, but he definitely had a soft spot for this skid steer here, and it does show that it was very well maintained. So, hey dog, what's up? Hey everybody else, what's going on? We are back for another day of shelter in place. The first day here officially in Minnesota for shelter in place, and I'm in a happy place, the garage. I've got the good old Bobcat S850 here, got the cab up. Just gonna touch up some of the paint here and there, get this cleaned up with some of the Pour 15 Prep and Prime products. I do have some official Bobcat white paint coming, so I'm going to lay that down once that gets here. But I do want to go ahead and get everything primed up and protected, since currently this will be sitting outside for a little bit. I can't show you now, but the cab did get pretty well cleaned up. The headliner, which you can see in the picture here, went from grungy and grimy to looking like nearly new. And all the vents, after some soaking, some scrubbing with a toothbrush, and a quick run through the kitchen dishwasher, those also look brand new. So I'll show you those when I get the cab back down. You can kind of see nice and pretty clean up there now. But we've got everything just tipped up. Go ahead and clean, access get the air filters for the cab and get those cleaned. Just kind of start getting this thing cleaned back up. But we did get a good pile of goodies today, some from Amazon, and then some also from, where is that from? allskidsteer.com, I believe. So I did go ahead and get a dedicated grease gun off Amazon, just to make sure I've got one here just for lubing this up, and some lube for that. But also in the box of goodies, here it is. Yeah, allskidsteers.com. So check them out for a lot of your skid steer needs. I did get a new pair of rear lenses for this because one of them is cracked, and I figure for $6 a piece I'll replace them both, and then I've got one old one should I ever need a spare. So those were about $7. I got a new set of caps for the hydraulics because those were missing, and lastly a wiper blade, because the one that was on there was all coming off the metal trim here. So we are still waiting on paint. We got the can of white, can of orange, and some touch-up paint, and the all much needed alternator belt because it shouldn't look like that, all frayed. So I'm going to go ahead, just get this area masked off and shoot some of the primer on here so we can come back once the actual Bobcat paint comes in and get that painted, finished, and start working our way around just some of the other areas here. You know, of course, it's not going to be a complete repaint. No need to do that. But I do have new decals coming as well from a sign group out in Wisconsin. I will stay. Boom. I will include those details when they come in, but you know, I just want to clean it up because, you know, that's kind of what I do with vehicles. And well, this has wheels on it, so I consider it a vehicle. So just new Bobcat stickers, model stickers, new pinstripes down the lift arm here. That's about all I'm going to do for stickers. I'm going to go through here and wax the cab. You can see where I started to kind of run through it with some polish, and then down here it gets kind of chalky again. And the same on the arm. Does look pretty good. You can see I waxed right in this area here, and then up here is dull and chalky. So again, it doesn't need to be done. But what else am I going to be doing right now? Because I can't sit inside all day long, all week long, all weekend long. So go ahead and work on this, and we'll get back to you when there are more parts or something else fun to show you. Stay tuned.